Oh boy. Hey everybody. Today we have a different kind of episode. Instead of going through an album or anything like that, it's kind of a weekly episode style. Tyler and I usually get together and edit, and sometimes our editing sessions are just us goofing off and listening to new music. And on Fridays, that's usually what we do, is we listen to the new releases. So we actually just pressed record on this and decided to make it an episode. So let us know what you think. If this is a format you'd like to see more often, that kind of thing. So without further ado, here is the episode.
Why don't you come down and tell the family about your podcast?
Dude, okay. So today that happened to me. We went to our son's, so Warner has what are they called? IEP?
Oh, yeah.
Individual education plan.
Yeah.
So it was a big meeting for that about, he's got a lot of physical delays and verbal delays that cause other delays. So it's like a big meeting about what he needs improvement on, what he's been going through,
right? All
these other programs that we can get in, all free. That's nice. Really cool. But anyway, so we're meeting with the main lady first before that big meeting, like the family person. And she's like, well, Jen, what are you doing? And Jen talked about her going on a run real quick, like at the end of the month, she's doing a half marathon, yada, yada.
Right.
She's like, Gary, what are you doing? I was like, well, I'm going to a concert next week. Pretty excited about that. And she's like, oh, what kind of concert?
No, stop.
And I was like, metalcore. And she's like, oh, what band? And I was like, band called Devil Wears Prada, another band called Fit for a King.
Oh, I've seen that movie. It's great.
And she's like, oh, okay. But do you have any hobbies? What do you like to do? And I'm like, nope, I don't have any hobbies. And Jen's like, oh, he has a podcast.
No, she threw you under the bus?
Right there. And I was like,
wow.
And she's like, you have a podcast? It's like, I could tell she was like another person with a podcast.
Yeah.
And she's like, what's it about? And I was like, and Jen's like, sorry. But so I told her, I was like, I straight up said, it's a podcast me and my buddy from college do about Christian metal music, really heavy music. And she's like, oh, nice. Do you have a good following? Do you have a lot of listeners? And I was like, our Instagram has 7,000 people. And she's like, that is such a niche market. And I feel like you've got them all. Everybody's listening to you. Yeah. That's funny. There's a lot. That's for sure. But yeah, super awkward, super sweaty. I was like, I don't want to talk about this, please.
Yeah. I think I've got to the point now where I just tell everybody. Or so my students, they just know, right? I throw out
your shirt just says I have a podcast.
No, I throw out 2 truths and a lie. I'm like, I have a podcast about Christian screamo metal. I drive a Chevy Silverado and I've been to the moon. And they're like,
you were at the moon?
You were at the moon? There's no way you got a Christian metal podcast.
Yeah.
No, they know. And then people ask me like this one teacher, this was just yesterday. He's like, hey, so your class does a podcast? And I was like, what are you talking about? He's like, yeah, your students were telling me about this podcast you do. And he was assuming that I do it for the classes I teach, the kids do it. I'm like, oh, no. Hold on real quick. It's a podcast about Christian screamo metal.
Do you say Christian?
I always say Christian.
Oh.
Because you go in without that idea of it being Christian, then you're kind of just
surprise.
Yeah.
All this Jesus talk, jeez.
Yeah. And so I always say that. And the screamo part, I always add the screamo part too, because I can't just say Christian metal, because then they're like, Skillet.
Yeah, and that's part of it too. Is there was a time where I was calling it extreme metal.
Oh yeah,
it's all about Christian extreme metal, right?
Yeah,
and a lot of people, so most people are like, oh, okay, really heavy stuff, whatever. But the metalheads are like, oh, so you like black metal? And
exactly.
And I'm like, oh, dang it. It's too
mortification or something.
Yeah. It separates the line from the person who doesn't understand metalcore and the other person that understands metalcore.
Yeah.
And so you say extreme, it's and then you say screamo and you got the snobs and the elites that are like, screamo hasn't been around for 25 years.
Yeah. How do you describe what we listen to? We call it heavy music, but that's very broad.
Yeah.
I don't know. Yeah. I've kind of become proud of our podcast, Gary.
Oh,
I don't hold back.
Oh, good.
Yeah.
Yeah. At church, I met a new guy. I think I told you this last week, but I met him last week. And first time at church, I saw he had a tattoo. He had a King's Kaleidoscope tattoo on his hand.
Yeah.
And he actually came and visited our church like a while ago. He's in the Air Force, right? There's a base near Spokane. And so he was going to our church and he was visiting or whatever. And he saw my August Burns Red shirt back then. Anyway, came back and he's like, Gary, right? And I'm like, I don't know you. Like, but anyway, I talked to him and like, he's going to go to the show that we're going to go to. And like, we talked about so many bands, like him and his wife. We just talked about bands.
That's sweet.
And then, after it was over, a guy came up and I was like, hey, that guy likes metal music. And I was like, what? Nuh-uh. And he's like, yeah, like your stuff, like the Christian stuff. And I was like, I know, that's pretty much all we talked about. And he's like, you told them about your podcast? And I was like, why do people think that's what I lead with? I was like, no, I didn't tell them about my
podcast. But you worked it in. But you worked it in.
I didn't.
Oh, okay.
So I'm going to have to surprise him or something.
Yeah.
I'm going to hunt him down at church on Sunday and be like, I don't know. It just feels very like, I don't know, prideful, braggy. I don't know. It's not the attention. I don't want people to be like, oh, Gary's the podcast guy. Because I already have a beard.
Right.
I'm already, I go to a Reformed church. Like, so, I'm already a stereotype.
So about your beard. I'm sorry for interrupting you. Oh, a student today, this is funny because the student today just found out I had a podcast.
Okay.
I was like, hey, I got a podcast. And this other student was like, yeah, what's crazy? He used to have this huge beard. And I was like, what are you talking about? He's like, yeah, this huge beard. It had to be like 2 years, 3 years ago or something. And I was like, I've never had a huge beard. You must be talking about the other dude. And they're like, nah, I'm pretty sure this was you. Red hair, glasses. So, yeah, that's not
Tell
me.
That's racist. Not all white people look the same.
Yeah, dude. Come on. They're like trying to tell me I was wrong. And I'm like, I know myself. Like, I don't know.
Who is the guy standing next to him in the picture you saw? That's what you should ask him.
Well, no, I assume it was just a picture of you or something. Yeah. Maybe it was probably the coffee meme or reel that went kind of popular. And they're like, wow, Mr. Hoag's crazy, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah, that was pretty funny. No, at this point, I tell everyone, if I can work it into conversation, I do. It's interesting, right?
Yeah, it's a conversation starter. I mean, I usually do like when I'm like meeting with people and they're like, what do you do for fun? And I'm tired of saying I sit on my butt and watch movies and football.
Yeah.
And I lie and I say I like to go hiking.
Yeah.
I like that I go hiking. I don't like to go hiking,
What?
I like when I go out and get exercise and like go see the nature and stuff. But like when I'm there, I'm like, ugh, this is the worst.
But you feel good afterwards.
Yeah. Yeah. And I'm glad I did it. That kind of thing.
Interesting. Yeah. I mean, I don't know. One thing I do appreciate about this podcast though, is the fact that it forces me to listen to so much new music. Yeah. Like that's what I was like thinking about recently. Like before we started the podcast, I was literally listening to the same like 4 albums still,
Close your eyes.
Breaker. Constellations, Messengers, like Devil Wears Prada.
Yep.
I was stuck. I didn't even know who Fit for a King was until we started the podcast.
Liar.
I swear, dude. Or like, okay, I knew who they were, but like I wasn't really into them until we started doing our podcast.
When The Path was happening, that time?
That was
Dark
when I first
Skies and
for sure. Like when did we started during the pandemic?
Right. You're right. We did. Mm-hmm. It was during the pandemic.
And when did we first
We started in 2020.
Yeah.
In like September.
When did we first see Fit for a King together? Was it before that?
No.
I'm trying to think. There might have been one show before that.
Yeah, we might. I know. So you're thinking about the show
might have been
with
2019.
August Burns Red
as
the headliner. They were the second, and the third was Crystal Lake.
Yes. That was pre-pandemic. That was like 2019 or something.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
So Dark Skies was out.
Yeah, and I knew like 3 songs.
Yeah, I remember you being like, dude, I had no idea they were so heavy.
Yeah.
I was like,
where have you been?
Yeah.
Yeah, so it's been cool. I mean, even now, like we're listening for our next episode for Hands, and I never really listened to them at all. And it's cool to like dive in. It's like new music for me. Like I get to hear that album for the first time, really,
Yeah.
Which is pretty sweet.
And for me, it's like the millionth time.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I mean, we do get to hear a lot. part of it is because like we have to do like we we have a platform with our voices and people are listening to us and we don't want to sound like idiots. So we want to make sure we do proper research and we're thorough on stuff. But so there's that part. But then there's also like tons of bands that like message us and say, hey, we're a band from Germany. Here's our new song. Check it out. We're a band from the Philippines. And like I hear a lot of, singles, just like one-time band. And I'm like, I like cool. What I heard so far. What like when's more stuff coming? Like, oh, we don't know yet. Blah blah blah.
Dude, we never would have heard of these bands back in college.
Yeah,
like you just never like. That's the crazy thing. Like we never even would have been on our radar. We'd have to wait to see what's on the latest Tooth and Nail or Solid State, Rise Records or whatever.
Yep. That's wild. I mean, even back in MySpace days, though, you just go to all the different MySpace pages and you look at the bands.
That was revolutionary. MySpace music was so good.
Yeah, there's like a lull after MySpace died. It's like, how do you find the new bands? Oh, you look who's touring with who.
I remember when MySpace was like dying and Facebook was like ramping up. I was
everyone's
bummed.
Like throwing sheep at each other. Remember that?
Yes.
And poking.
I was bummed that the music piece wasn't on Facebook.
Yeah, and you couldn't customize your Facebook to be all glittery and black and skulls and
the HTML rules, dude. Like that, like era of MySpace. Oh gosh, man, that's crazy. But now everything changed with streaming. Like there's no point in having MySpace music, and like it's also crazy with Instagram or TikTok. You can literally just put any song over a video or whatever, and you have access to every single thing, which is crazy. Except for TikTok. Did you hear about this?
I heard that they dropped a certain record company. CMG or CMI or one of those.
It's a big one. I forget.
Yeah, I mean, it's basically where all the major mainstream American music is. And
it's not even just that. Like, so you go through like your feed. So we have a TikTok for those that don't know. You could follow it. And I repost some of the videos we post on Instagram, and a lot of them now are muted because it says copyright issues. They don't have the rights to it anymore, even though it was used with TikTok sounds or Instagram sounds. And so like the latest one, the Amazing Because It Is, the almost must be on that label. So that one's yanked off, gone. But yeah, so that's kind of weird. Instagram is where it's at, dude.
Guess so.
I've been getting into reels a lot more lately. I just feel like it's all I communicate with friends right now is just send them reels.
Absolutely.
Which is,
are you on like, so our Discord server, a bunch of us are in a group message thing on Instagram. All we do all day long is just send reels.
Yeah, the ACP broadcast?
No, not that one. It's just called like ACP, whatever.
Oh, yeah. It's like just a message, group chat.
Yeah, there's like 12 people on there and we just send stuff. It's kind of overwhelming because it's like I get anywhere from like 6 to like 100 reels sent to me on that a day.
Yep.
But so I kind of just like scroll and go, that looks interesting.
I just find something that's funny and send it to 25 people and one person responds. So
I never respond.
But then they send to me and I never respond. I watch it and I'm just like, that's cool. So I think we just communicate back and forth with reels, which is cool.
Yeah.
All right. What are you listening to today? Anything good?
Yeah. So you want to check out some new music?
Well, tell me what it is.
There's actually quite a bit of new music today.
Let me check out the release radar.
I don't know if you have anything different than what I have. You see anything fancy in yours?
Hold on. I'm sort of tech illiterate, so I gotta
there's
type
definitely 2 songs from Meadows.
Really?
Yeah.
Dude, okay.
And I think you're going to like them.
So, love Meadows. So, I can't believe I didn't really know about Meadows before we did our episode on them.
Yeah.
And just fell in love with them. Like, their albums have been awesome. I love that 3 EP album they did. But now listening to Hands, I kind of get Meadows vibes sometimes with Hands.
It'd be the other way around, but yeah.
Yeah, exactly. And so it's kind of cool because I love that style of, I don't even know what it's called. What would you call that?
Me neither. I tried to describe it. I've heard it described as like melodic hardcore.
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe.
But it's like, I don't know, ambient rock.
With breakdowns.
Yeah, and that's why like melodic hardcore is like the closest. Like, because if you take like a certain snippet of the song, it's weird, right? Because it's like you have like these peaceful, kind of nice sounding like guitar stuff or ambient noises, whatever, and you're like, this is relaxing. and then just the gnarliest vocals come over it.
Yeah.
And they're just so angry, and it's like, what is happening? Like, this music sounds so nice, but this voice sounds so angry. And it's just like this, I'm going to use this word, juxtaposition of the two going against each other. Yeah. It's like two opposites, So I don't know what to call that, because there's also the opposite that happens where the music is just like a breakdown, and then they start singing softly over this super, heavy part. And it's like, man, I don't know if I should be like putting my hands up and singing along, or like throwing an elbow at the guy behind me. Like, I just don't know.
There was this reel recently that Kingdom Core Sean posted, and it was the Meadows like breakdown in The Call, I think. And it's that sweet part that's like, don't get a hold of something, get a hold of you, amazing breakdown, he put that because it's like the best part of the song. And the title was like, let's make metallic hardcore or whatever it is, melodic hardcore, like great again, or something. And every single person in the comments was like roasting him. It's like, great, but this isn't that, because it was just a breakdown. But like, we get caught up in like, what is this? What is this? I don't even know.
Yeah, melodic hardcore, like my first thought is bands like kind of like almost easy core or pop punk, but like A Day to Remember.
Yeah.
Where it's like hardcore, but then the chorus comes in and it's like pop rock. I don't know.
Yeah, that's tough too.
So I don't know. It's fun. Genres are impossible though, but
they are.
You start throwing the same ones in a bucket. My Epic, Hands, Meadows, Idle Threat, kind of just throw them all together and be like, this is post-hardcore.
Yeah, I think that's what it is. It's like all into the post-hardcore kind of feel.
Yeah.
Okay, so Sparrow Sleeps, The Week's End, whole album.
Yeah. Have you listened to it?
Fell asleep to it? I mean, I love it. Like, it's great. That's what I got on mine. Oh, yeah.
Should we listen to these? Like, we could do the Spotify share thing?
Yeah, let's do it.
What do you want to listen to first? I could probably share. I got 1, 2, I don't know, 3.
I can see yours right now.
You hear the new Need to Breathe?
Dude.
I know you love Need to Breathe.
There's this one reel of like a dude with an old car radio, like a car, and then their old car radio like in this car, and he just is like literally just punching it, and it's like explode. You've seen it before?
Yeah.
And he just punches as hard as he can, and the radio's breaking. When I hear Need to Breathe, that's exactly what I want to do. I don't know why, but it makes me want to literally just punch a radio as hard as I possibly can. You like this?
Dude, I love this. Hold on. I'm trying to send it to my...
It sounds like Andy Bernard or something singing off The Office.
No.
Yeah, this is beautiful, dude. I love... You showed me Sparrow Sleeps, maybe with like Reliant K.
So yeah, I showed you them because they did Anne Boleyn, right? They did.
Yes. Reliant K was a big one.
Under Oath.
Oh yeah, the Under Oath one. Yeah.
Yeah, like they've done a bunch, and it's kind of cool. They work with the bands and actually like help compose the lullaby of their song. And they were at Furnace Fest, like they had a booth or whatever. Oh. And so I went there, and they're like the only booth that's selling like toddler clothing.
Yeah.
And so that's where I got my sons their clothes and stuff. Yeah, super awesome. I like what they're doing. I mean, they're literally nailing like everything I like. I mean, they have tons and tons of bands and albums that they've done, as lullaby versions. But
so at the end of this song, what does it sound like? I mean, I'd fall asleep to this.
Yeah, my daughter falls asleep super easy, so I haven't had to do anything like this.
Yeah.
But like Warner, I would do some of their songs. But
so when you had, it was Reliant K, dude, the one you showed me, and it was like Who I Am, Hates Who I've Been, maybe.
Yeah, and they did like Pink Tux to the Prom.
And you showed me, you played it for me. and you're like, what is this? And it was like I heard the melody, and I was like, oh my gosh, man, I know this song.
Oh yeah. I was
like,
what band is this? And you're just
freaking out. You showed me that one, then you showed me some other ones, by Relient K, and I don't even think I got it. I think you had to tell me, but that was pretty cool.
No, you eventually got it, I think, because I think you were started I know the words to this chorus.
Oh, it's beautiful, dude. This is great.
Yeah.
Walls by Emery.
All right. You want to hear a band Imminence, right? Not sure
I've
if
heard
they're
of
Christian or not, whatever.
Yeah.
Violin core, right? Their lead singer plays violin.
The only violin that's ever the only violin that's ever rocked is in Yellow Card on Ocean Avenue.
Oh, I thought you were gonna say Impending Doom. There will be violins.
There's violin in that?
No, he just says the way he screams violin sounds like violin. All right. So this is Continuum, and I listened to it a little bit already.
Okay, I'm ready.
It's super heavy.
I'll be the judge of that.
All right, you ready?
Continuum by Imminence.
And?
For sure. This is what I love. Just nasty sludge guitar, sort of. Oh. It's tasty.
Alright, it gets worse.
So you're saying the whole song's not awesome?
There's your violin.
Okay, still fine.
Can't be Imminence without that. Got some reverb.
I'm in still. Cool. Now it's not cool.
You don't like that?
I like that.
It sounds heavy, thick, chunky.
Very chunky. So what's the violinist doing right now?
He's a singer.
Oh, no way.
Yeah.
That's cool.
He's screaming instead of playing the violin.
Okay, that's cool. It's like Neil Young with his harmonica.
Exactly, it's the same thing.
Okay, that's cool.
I'm gonna jump. That's usually the scream we hear for him, that higher,
It's good. It's a good song overall. Really good.
Yeah. Chabs on Discord said it reminds him of Invent Animate. Yeah. I hear it. I can see that. All right, you want to listen to these new Meadows songs?
Yes, sir.
I'm not gonna lie. I took a sneak peek at Barabbas, and you're gonna love it.
I'm stoked. I'm ready. Love it.
Kind of that older style hardcore.
Listen to that chunk. Wow.
I'd rather let the wicked walk while grace stands strong. I won't shine.
Oh, that bass tone. Oh my gosh.
I won't shine.
Oh, I love it, dude. You're right.
I wash my hands of this. In the silence of innocence.
Dude, that's legit.
Should we jump to the next one? Old Friend, New Leaf.
Dude, that's makes me so excited.
It's definitely a different feel than their previous album.
Showing love is showing up. Is sitting quietly and sometimes enough. The setting comfort of someone to trust. The ready iron so that mine doesn't rust. We tear walls down. We've nothing to hide. I see the men. You keep locked inside.
It's good stuff. Just really good tones, man.
Hey, scan the room, examine their faces. The ones left with sunset and the days end. Even knowing.
Yeah, see, they call themselves a classic hardcore influence with melodic rock and atmospheric guitars.
Well, these two songs have felt more hardcore than what they've done before.
This one's kind of, it reminds me of like,
Don't say it.
what am I gonna say?
Me Without You.
No, I was gonna say like Smashing Pumpkins or something. Older rock, you know? Musically.
Yeah.
I'm gonna jump.
I broke bread and I poured wine for your life. I give mine. Flesh broken, blood poured out. My spirit is yours now. Truly I tell you, I won't drink again from this fruit of the vine. Not again. Not again, so we reunite.
So what do you think?
I like it.
One sound, not one drink.
I like Bravos better, but it's still good. I mean, I love everything that Meadows has been doing, so I'm down for any of that stuff.
Yeah.
Those are two good releases, and both of them today.
Yeah, I'm excited. I just messaged him on Instagram, so
I would love to get them on the podcast. I think I like the format of what we did. I don't know how we would do it with a full length, but with our Immortal Construct one where we dove into the songs and then interviewed.
oh yeah.
I listened to it and I thought it was pretty smooth. It's pretty cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I haven't listened to it. In fact, I haven't listened to one of our podcasts in like a year. Just because I can't stand hearing my own voice and you know.
I try to listen a little bit, but yeah, no, I think it was cool. If we did a full album, I guess we're gonna pick a few songs and then interview, but it'd be so hard to keep it under an hour and a half.
Yeah, we might have to use our
Speed.
small talk for these kind of episodes.
Yeah.
And, go through it quickly. But I think we could do it. 6 songs.
Especially if the band's willing. I think that'd be cool.
Yeah. Our problem when we do like full EPs is we talk about a song and then we back up and go, oh man. And then the whole album, this song really just reflects the whole album. And then 3 songs later, we're like, yeah. And then we'll look back on like track 7. We'll be like, oh man, it's like, on track 1, when it's like that, and I feel like we just dance around a lot more. With the EP, we don't have that.
You jump
that wide of a thing to do, but I don't know.
Yeah.
And we can't always get an interview, so
no.
Well, you want to hear another one?
Yeah, of course.
Here's a new Cultist song.
Really? Why are you smiling like that?
It's just one of those bands that has the same name and got posted.
Funny. I could tell with your smile. You thought you were so cool.
Yeah. It's like, okay, so like Disciple. There's so many people and bands and like rappers especially who have their name as Disciple. So when they release something, it's like it all gets assigned to that. And all the Disciple followers get this new track put on their feed. And I'm like, weird. This new band with featuring Disciple? Sick. Like this. Richie featuring Disciple. And it's like, okay, that's definitely not going to be Disciple. But so this band, I followed them a while ago because they had this song called Awake. Still not one of their most popular. No, still not one of their more popular songs. And I kind of wished it was. I really like it. Was like a ballad, but they're like a rock band. And their vocalist reminds me of like Breaking Benjamin. So
who is it?
It's called Strength Betrayed. So here, have a peek.
Have a gander.
It's definitely the hard rock, new metal.
I'll let you know once their vocals come in. It's red with cooler riffs.
It's like almost like a Creed.
They got Red Skull as their album art. Okay, that's cool. That's fun.
That's not what you like. Breaking Benjamin?
For sure. Right there, for sure, Breaking Benjamin.
Yeah, he's got a very deep voice. I'm gonna jump. We need more of that.
Do this the whole time.
I think it's a 2-man band.
I promised myself I would never be anything like you.
That's groovy. That's a pretty sweet scream, though, man.
When you look me straight in the eyes, do you notice me?
Lips of an angel.
Yeah. With arms wide open. So that's kind of the main stuff I got. There's still 2 bands that dropped music this week earlier, and I don't know how you're going to feel about them.
All right.
So wait.
Dial it up, duty.
Well, before we do that, did you listen to the new With Blood Comes Cleansing songs?
Yes, I listened to a couple of them. Precardial effusion.
Pericardial.
Sure. Pericardial effusion.
Yeah. Precardial. It's like before your heart. Yeah.
Pre.
It's per.
I like it.
What about Evangelion?
Yeah. And then they did the whole...
They did 4 songs from Golgotha. Yeah. All with Robert Manzone.
So everyone's like, oh, good job. I don't know who that is.
You don't?
Everyone in our circle is like, oh my gosh, this is awesome.
Well,
this is awesome.
First of all, he was on our Discord server and he was pretty active when we first started.
Okay.
He's back on now because Lane from Discord has been hounding him in real life to get back on the server. And, a lot of people are like hooping and hollering at him saying he's really great and tell him to get on Discord and talk to us. But yeah, lots of positive feedback. Robert Manzone is the one and only person in Searching Serenity.
Ah, okay. That makes A ton of sense. Okay.
Yeah. I think he did such great work, like on Golgotha. Just some of those snarls and
Really
growls
good.
that he does, like, oh my goodness.
Well, I was thinking that too with pericardial fusion, like precardial, pericardial.
Yeah,
Wow,
pericardial.
how can I not get it? I was listening to that because that song vocally, like it goes back and forth, lows, highs, growls, inhales, and it was really good, really good. It is different though. Like it's different than their previous vocalist, but he's really good for sure.
Yeah, I think he makes it more, I don't know, deathcore, more death, less.
So here's my question to you. You'd probably know. Michael, the singer, the vocalist,
Sasser?
Sasser, was their vocalist for Golgotha, I assume.
Oh man, I wish I knew that answer. I don't know.
But maybe
I think
not.
I think he was on their second album. I don't think he's their original. I don't know, dude.
Yeah, that's a good question because maybe they're going back and redoing the ones that Michael was on, or maybe they're going back to the ones he wasn't.
Well, the two singles that came out with Sasser, right? They were redone with Robert on them. So
right, interesting.
Do you want to play one of those songs?
I think it's cool. Yeah, play one. Let's listen. Once it gets deeper here, this is where I was listening. Right there. That's definitely a different.
Yep. And
That's disgusting.
Yeah, this is the music I would play super loud if my windows rolled down at a stoplight.
Yes. Let's hear this part.
Awesome, huh?
Really cool. There's one more part I want to hear. Right here.
Why don't you save yourself? I am the great I am. I will save everything.
I am the great I am.
Right here. Right here. That's a lot different than what they do on the. There's like highs in the back of the other one.
Yeah, Robert gets low.
You can definitely hear him though,
I have two more bands for you.
What do you think the greatest song of all time is?
I'm not.
I think it's Fast Car by Tracy Chapman.
What's that?
Fast Car by Tracy Chapman.
I don't know if I know that song.
Oh my gosh. You got a fast car. Luke Combs just covered it like recently.
Nope. Dude, you're speaking another language to me.
It's the greatest song ever written. I'm pretty sure. Like I'm like 99%.
I'm pretty sure you're wrong because I'm pretty sure it's All Star by Smash Mouth.
R.I.P. That's funny. But no, seriously, Fast Car by Tracy Chapman. I've been thinking about this lately. Greatest song ever written, probably.
It's obviously Jesus Freak by DC Talk.
That's a great song, but
which one is Jesus going to be jamming? I don't know.
Fast Car by Tracy Chapman.
Anyway, dang it, Tyler. Two more.
Two more.
Yeah. Almost done. So I got.
You think he's rocking the Marmalade Jelly rather than Fast Car by Tracy Chapman?
Dude, I don't know.
Okay, sorry.
So I don't know which one of these to show you first. I'll show you this one first. So this is a whole, I don't know, EP, 8 songs. I'm only going to play one for you.
Okay.
I'll play one. All the songs are like 2 minutes long, if that gives you a hint at the genre. It might even be a one-man band. I don't know.
I'm ready.
I saw them get a shout out on Instagram, and so I snagged them. They're called Boneyard.
I'm in.
I haven't listened to this song. Isn't that Turnstile?
Is this a Turnstile cover band? Yes, that Northeast hardcore feel.
Yep. Christian. I'm gonna jump. For me, I want more musically.
You don't like that tone where it's like not full. There's not enough like
Body to it.
body. But that
Yeah,
sounds
it's definitely
like
more raw. It's more.
it sounds like Mind Force tone, Turnstile sort of.
Okay, I actually do have another one that
Okay.
came out earlier this week, and I don't know if you'll like them or not. I don't even know if I think they're metal, not metalcore. You ready for this?
Is it Era?
No, it's a band called Remedy. Are you ready?
I'm ready.
I went to follow them on Instagram and I saw they already follow us. So, here we go. Tell me what genre you think this is.
Right now, it's metalcore, hardcore.
So break the rain.
Metalcore.
I think like new metal. Some Rammstein.
It's not vocally. I don't know if it's gonna get there. Oh, it got there. Wow, I wasn't expecting that at all. It's absolutely new metal.
Yep.
They're Christian.
Yep. They're inspired by Skillet, TFK, 3 Days Grace, Breaking Benjamin, Avenged Sevenfold, and Metallica. I feel like it's palatable to the general audience, you know?
It's cool. It's fine. I'd go listen to these guys. I'd go watch them.
Would you?
Five-finger death punch. Can't you hear that?
I get what you're saying, yeah.
That's all I can hear.
A lot more melody than we're used to, huh?
Yeah.
So I think that wraps up this. I don't know if it's going to be an episode or how we're doing this thing.
Just hanging out, talking.
Yeah, so if you liked this style of episode and you want to hear more, let us know, because we figured we get together like once a week to edit, and one of our editing sessions is usually just listening to new music.
Yeah.
And like hanging out, and we end up not editing at all. So we're like, we should just record one of these where we share new music together, whether it's Christian, whether it's metalcore, just like whatever we've been listening to lately, and just kind of share our thoughts and talk about that. So we thought maybe it's something our listeners would like. So yeah, if you like it, let us know.
For sure. See you.